Hello and welcome to another Nikomedia tutorial. So yes, I am back. I had a bigger project recently and I had really no time to do anything. But now I finished it and yeah, and of course let's continue with tutorials. And the first one I want to do is of course from my Patreon. He wrote it. It's quite interesting. It's about this lettering here. So this is from Txaber or Txaber, I don't know how to pronounce it. But here he makes this wonderful curly wooden things here, letters, and yeah. So let's try this. And the patron here wants the N, he wants especially the N, and the N will come, so but it works everything the same here. So this is, where do we have the N? So L, M and N, yeah, especially this, and this looks really great, really nice. And N is for me nice too, because it's Nico and okay, so let's make this N, and let's watch the other ones too. You will find the link in the description, of course. And yeah, he makes some really, this is nice too here. Really very nice things here. It's a great idea, I love it. And yeah, very, very nice. So, he don't show us which program he uses, but I guess it could be something like Cinema 4D. But we will see, maybe here. Yeah, that's true here. The N is just blue list. That's true. Okay, good. So let's make this. Let's try to make it. I did not try it, but I have an idea. But I think it will be quite a lot of work. This is because for each of these banded wooden stripes here, I think we will use different bend deformers and everything, and we have to order it. That could be little handwork, but a little manual work, but okay. So let's try to make a really nice thing here. I think it looks even better if we then, I will texture this in Octane because it's faster, and to texture this is no problem. It's just a gray background and a wooden texture, and you can use here every wooden texture. You can presets or something, or from a texture library or something. So let's start. So how do we start with this? We need the stripes. So first I would say I make an N here. Do I use the, no, I don't need a mo let's do it with a mo text, doesn't matter. So mo text and an N, then in the middle, of course. And let's make something fat, so Arial black or something. Yeah, that looks nice. Arial black is good. Okay. And I don't need any thickness here, so I can go here to 0. Okay, so create single object, why not? And now I wanna cut this in stripes. First, I make a copy and give this in a backup folder. So control, drag it in the backup folder, and disable reduce. So, and make this editable or current state to object, however you want. But current state to object is here. You get this thing here. I usually used my edit optimize script here I have here. You will find the link in the description. So the description links to my website. On the website you find everything you need. Because I did this because some people wrote me that it's far too much information in my description. So I put all on one website and that's it. So edit optimize, yes, and you see that makes everything for me. This is our N. Now I want to cut this in stripes. Good, so I go in edge mode, KJ for a plane cut, or if you have earlier versions of Cinema, just hit K and go in plane mode. So, and I want it local, and XC, that should be the correct one, isn't it? It is the correct one, you see. And how many? Yeah, just try it. 10 cuts with 10 centimeter. This is too few. 15 cuts. I try to make it quiet, so that we have everywhere the same space, and let's make a little more of them. So 20. That looks good. That looks good. Okay, I cut this. So first, what I have to do is we have to make here a single stripe, so that this one is a stripe and this one is a stripe, but we need here a connection between. So I take this one here, and we have the same problem here, and this one, and just hit MM on the M twice on the keyboard to cut these edges in half. MM, babak, and you see now we have here the half. Okay, point mode, and with ME is the polygon pen. I simply drag this point on this one, you see, it snaps to it, and this point to this one. So, but now we have here, this is not really nice here, so let's try to make this the same height. So I select this point, just watch the height of this point here. So this position, the Y position is 7. Now copy this, Control C, go to this point, paste it in, and okay. Same I do here, the same height, but now here it looks not really nice, but we can drag this a little bit out. It does not have to be perfect, because this will be later curled, and so we don't see it, but do it as good as you can. That looks nice. Okay, here the same. I copy this position, paste it, and the same here. Let's make it nice. So yes, that looks great, and paste it here again. Good, that's it. So, but here we have later to be a little careful, because we have here a smaller piece than here and here. We won't really see this, because this will be a smaller piece too, but we can easily check this. You see, we have here a size of 8 centimeter. Here we have a size now of 7.2, and here we have a size of 7.4. So here this should be 8 again. Yeah. So we have to remember this. So now we can make single stripes of everything. But how do we do this? I want to work with sweeps. In the original one, you see, we don't have this. Everything will be straight. So where is this? You see, we have straight things, not so. And we want this here too. So that's the reason I want to make this with sweeps. Okay, I need everywhere in between here a sweep, a spline. So with UL, with the loop selection in edge mode, I select this. So I want to select the whole thing here, so okay. And I deselect this one, this one, this one, and this one. And in between these selections here, I want a spline. And this is very easy. Just hit again MM, so the M twice. This is the edge cut, MM. You see we have everywhere in between a new spline. And now we have to be a little careful. I select every second spline, so every other one. So this will be then our sweep. See, we have to be a little careful. It's a little work this one, but the result looks great. Then, as you have seen, it is a really nice idea. I really like it. And if I like something, okay, why not spend a little time? So that's it. Out of this, I make splines of this selection. And this is very easy. So we have this edge to spline. I have it here in my toolbar. If you don't have it in your toolbar, it should be somewhere. Mesh commands edge to spline. Here you have it. So click on it, and now we have here one spline. This N I hide for the moment. You see, we have just splines now here. But for a sweep, we need single splines. So what do? First, I make a backup of this. I control drag it in the backup folder, so maybe I can use it, and save this project. Bandit wood letter. So okay. So now I want single splines. I go to my N spline here. First I say linear is, I go to Bezier and uniform and 8. Okay, so we have something to bend later. And now I go in point mode, right click here and explode not segments, explode segments, yeah, explode segments. Let's explode it. And now we have all single splines in here. 38 splines. Okay, so I don't need the first one. So I delete without children. I have it here in my toolbar. If you don't have it in the toolbar, just right click. Here somewhere, no, or here somewhere. Somewhere you delete without children, you see? Whoop. So now we have our splines. Each one is here. Good so far. Now it starts to get funny. Good. We need first a bend deformer. I want a bend deformer under the N spline here. So I select my N spline, go to the deformer, shift click on it, and have here now the bend deformer. The bend deformer is exactly the same size like the spline now, so we don't see it. So now let's make the spline a little bigger here. So little, the bend deformer, not the spline. Here, a little bigger. We should see it, and tell the bend fit to parent. Now I should see I have it in the filter disabled. So deformer. Now I have it here. Fit to parent again. Why it is so long? It shouldn't be so long. That's a little weird because it should have the same length as well. When I say fit to parent. Let's do it again. Zack. bend deformer, shift click on it. We will see, maybe it's okay. 2 by 2. I do this because I want to see how it bends. You see, okay. So I rotate that bend deformer, R for rotation. I rotate it 90 degrees. And see again, fit to parent. Now I get this. Okay, you see it bends nice, but in the wrong direction. I want to bend it in this direction, so minus 90 degrees. And now, you see, we have our bend. This is exactly what I want. Good, that works. So far, so good. And if we make now, so we know, let's bring our N back here. And we should have still the selection, I think. Or don't we? We don't have it. To be sure, you know what we do? I again select. We have no this. We have the selection still. Now I want to delete these edges again, so that they don't disturb us. So with MN I can dissolve them. Let's try it. MN. You see, now they are away. These are just our splines here. So when I disable the spline here, and now I can see for the first spline, when I go to my N and select this edge here, I see this edge has a height of 7, and I copy this. Now I want to make a sweep knob. So what I do is I make a rectangle. The rectangle, of course, is quite small, so the banded ones are not so thick, and the bottom ones, the not banded ones, are a little thicker. So let's start here with I would say 2 centimeter, and the height is this, which I copied. So this 7, blah blah blah. Okay. In the rectangle, and here. Now select my rectangle, go to sweep, hold my Alt key, sweep. So the rectangle is the profile spline, and here comes the path spline. You see, we have our first thing here, our first banded stripe here. So I go to my sweep, make a single object out of it. Here I want n-gons, so you see it works. Nice. This is our first one, and now we have a little work. So, poof, but it's okay. So we don't be shy to do it. We have to do it anyways. So first I wanna select all my n splines here. And I want to center the axis of this. I have the magic center, link description, you know it meanwhile, so that every n-spline has an axis exactly in the middle, so a centered axis. That's not really necessary, but it looks better for me. So good, that's the first one. Now I copy this whole sweep here, control drag it down. When I open it, I select this bend deformer, drag it under the next spline, and delete this spline here. And now drag this in the sweep and just tell the bend deformer fit to parent. So this should give us the next one. See, it works perfect. And these two, of course, this should have the same height, so this is okay. Okay, next one, the same thing again. I copy this one, open it, drag the bend deformer under the next spline, delete this spline, bring this back to the sweep knob, and say fit to parent. Next one is ready to go. But you see, it seems there is something wrong with the height. So let's go to our N and let's see how high is this one here. You see, okay, now we have our 8 centimeter, and this 8 centimeter we should have until here about. So I go to my rectangle and tell the rectangle, please be here 8 centimeter, and you see we are exactly together here. Good, nice. And so we continue. So I make one more here, and then I will pause and yeah, and make it my own, because you don't have to watch me to do this. So, but one more. Go to our sweep, copy the sweep, open it, bring the bend deformer under the next spline, delete this spline, drag it in, bring it in the sweep, bend deformer, fit to parent, and we have the next one, which fits perfect. Here it looks not so perfect because this one is a little longer as this one, so that it cannot look the same. So. Okay, and don't forget, when you do this, don't forget that here you have not everywhere the same height. So if you see that they intersect, you can change this every time. So if you make a mistake, you can change this later on too. But be careful about this one. So okay, I will pause and I will go through, and if I'm ready, we will continue. Okay, I'm just a little back here. So here you see now in this part here, you have again this problem with the size, and here again it's nothing easier than that. Go to the N, size here, copy it, go to the rectangle, paste it, and done. And if you have this on the other side, just make the same. Just copy the height, and that's it. So okay, I continue here. So I am ready here. You see, I have everything done, and it does not really need a lot of time. I haven't watched it here, but the clock, but it was not long. So and here we have something. It looks a little weird. What's going on here? Oh, it's because of this N here. Okay, good. The next step is we need the same again, but not bend it, of course. So I want to have the chance to make lay down some changes here. So how do I do this? I have to select all my bend deformers, and in this moment it's not really hard to do this. So I go to here to this eye here, open it, objects, and we should have bend deformers, 38 of it. That's okay. I double click it, bang. Now I have selected all the bend deformers, and I make here in the selection filter, create selection object. This is what I want. So I can close this. Here, this is our bended deformers. Okay. So when I select here all the deformers, restore selection, I have all of them in one thing, so I can change everything together. You see that works. I'm a little surprised by the deformers start here and not at the correct thing. So this is a little crazy. But it shouldn't make any problem, so let's see. Right. does not make a problem. Naja, sometimes yes, because they should be all on the same state here. The same. Here everything is okay. Only here we have a little problem, but we can make this manually later if we want. Oh, what could we do? We could select all our and drag it to somewhere like here. That should help too. Yeah, that helps to see. Okay, let's stay like this for the moment. So now we have selected all these deformers. I make a null object, and this is banded stripes. And I drag all of them inside it. So. And now I'm making a copy this one. And call them straight. I hope it's correct written, but doesn't matter. And now I have the pointed deformers. Now I have to select here all the deformers. But now I can't say all the deformer because then I have everything. So I have to select them, each one of them manually. But it's not really a hard job. So let's do this. I unfold everything and I simply go through. We should have 38 of them. So I should have counted, but doesn't matter. That's not so hard to do. I said this is a little handwork and little manual work. So almost done. And band. Okay, that's it. I make another selection object. So, and here we have unbanded. Not unbanded, unbanded. Good. So I take my straight stripes. So first I go to the unbanded deformers, select all of them, restore selection, and here I go to 0. But you see, if I have 0, we get some problems here. So let's give it, instead of 0, 0.1. Is this enough? Yep, you see, okay. So it's almost straight. And I take this null object and bring it. So now I select my filter here, and I don't want to see the deformers. And I bring my straight stripes behind these stripes here. So let's see. That looks not bad, but what I totally don't like is that here is everything banded the same. Now we have to find a way how to bend this differently. So, and there is a small formula, if I remember correct. So I go to the banded deformers, restore selection, and here under the strength I want different values. So let's say until 200, okay, maybe 200 degrees, okay. So I type in num plus RND for random. We get 200 degrees, so the value of 200 minus num. That should give us different values between 0 and 200. Enter. And it looks like it works. They are differently banded. And we have our thing here. We're almost done. When I go now back with the banded deformers, select and bring it a little back. But we don't see this on the front, so it's okay. It looks quite nice. But we need, of course, rounder thing. But what I want it's a little again a little selection thing. I want the banded ones thinner, this thicker. So what I do now is I go to select and select all my rectangles for the banded stripes. So don't think a lot about, just do it. Because when you think about how could I do this faster, most of the time you would be almost ready with your work when you don't think about and just do it. If you have time, so you lay at night in your bed, and then you can think about how can I do this faster, but not when you work. So okay, and think about it's just 38 clicks and that's it. Rectangle. So we are through here, or 38 elements, exactly what I want. And oops, selection object, banded rectangles, angles. Okay, the same I do with the unbanded. Unbanded with this plate. Unbanded is funny. So, oops, whoops. And shoopity whoopity doo. Oops, this was not so clever. Go to here. So, okay, I lost my other. Okay, then start from the other side. Rectangle, 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 rectangle. Boop, boop. Do, 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 do. So we should almost be through. Waka, 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 waka. Okay, 38 elements. Okay. Create object. Unbanded rectangles. Angles. So save it. Don't forget it. So that means now I can make here with the whoopsie, banded rectangles. I select all of them and say here I want just 1 centimeter. Everything the same. Nice. And unbanded ones, select all of them and say I want 4 centimeter. Okay, of course now I have to go to the straight stripes and bring them a little back here, so something like that. Okay. Next step is I want, of course, some roundings here, so I want everything a little round. So when we bring in a bend, a bevel deformer, we just have to bring it under the null object, and it works on all our other objects under it. So that means I make a bevel deformer. First I don't bring it in, I just have a look. So 0.5, so point, let's say 0.5, we will see. And 3, this is okay, limit is okay, use angle threshold 40 is okay, and I drag it under the banded stripes. So you see the first object is here, and then it works on every other object here. And that's exactly what I want. And if it does not really work, so it could be if you forgot in the sweep create single object, that it looks like this here. So if you have something like this, just create single object and then it's done. The same again, I copy this bevel and bring it under the stripes here, and we have beveled things here. And we have our object. So we can wonderful work with this. It looks great. Okay, now let's do a nice render with it and save it. Simply make a camera. Here, the camera. I make it with Octane, as I said, because just to make it quicker. So it's here. It's really not hard to do something. So for patrons, of course, I will upload these project files and we'll do it with physical render too. So you can download it for physical render and Octane render. But I don't think that you really need it for. So okay, we are here. So I want exactly from the front. So 0, 0, and the X 0. Give it a protection tag. Boing. And here I say Y and Z I can change, but not the X-axis. So this means I can do whatever I want. So then I want to bring in a background. So I just bring in a plane on plus C. So and bring the plane behind the. Okay, should be fine. Okay. Down here, save again, and now when we render this we should see, of course, something. Not much, but we see something. Okay, we need definitely, as every time, light and everything, and HDRI a little bit. So I bring in my Octane rig. Boing. I don't need a floor here. So, that's okay. Then make some material, diffuse material for the background. This is a simple gray material. Let's bring, you can make a little gradient too or something else, but I think I use a totally normal gray background. So bring this on the plane. Like this, okay, nice. Then we need some wood for that, and I have some in my. I have some wood textures in my Nikomedia texture pack. Patreons can download the texture pack on the Patreon site. Patrons with €5 and above and this will be updated every time when I have time and I have some new textures, some interesting textures. I will update them. Cover materials, open live database. This needs every time a little, so okay. A dark wood for the background here, also for the woods, and bring it on the banded stripes, and yeah, that looks nice. And on the straight stripes, but I think that looks nice, of course, but in the original one there is one texture over all this whole thing. So let's try this. So I go to my textures, let's say a cubic mapping, please. And then fit to object. So I select both of my textures, right click and fit to object. Yes. And bring back the camera. I think this looks great. This looks great. Here we have a nice pattern. Yeah, this looks nice. And I think we need another HDRI, but maybe it's nicer when we make here the top another wood, a lighter wood. So let's see. Oops, here. Let's take. Yeah, this is a great contrast. Give this on the banded stripes. Yeah, that looks nice. Oh yes, I like this. I like this. That's great. Good. And let's try another HDR. So I go to my OCTANE Rig, Shift F8 for the HDRIs. And let's see what we have here. Studios is okay. I think this will be a little too bright, maybe. But I want some shadows. Yeah, I want shadows. That's it. Oh, the shadows in the other direction. That looks nice too, hey? Don't see the shadows really, but it's totally nice. But let's try another one. Let's try this one. Yeah, here we have nice shadows now. Go in the other direction. Does this look? No, this is not really nice. That's great. I think I like this. As I said, you can play with this how long you want, and here this is, but it was nice, like so. That looks nice. Yeah, we will get to the project file if you're a patron, but let's try some other ones. Maybe not really a... Let's make an outdoors thing. Because an outdoor thing sometimes gives you really nice colors. It looks nice, but I miss shadows. I want shadows. Ba, 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 ba. No shadows. I use my HDRI so often, but I never know what does which ones. Just try and try and try. But with Octane, try with Octane is not really a problem. So, but I think the best was. But let's try some indoor. This is sometimes really nice. It looks nice too, yeah. But you see, you can do so much with this. Or go to one of my favorites here, but this is normally more for reflections. It is great. I like this one, yeah. We have some shadows here, some nice shadows. We have nice colors. I dig this one. So, and we are done in not even an hour. And here, of course, you can now you can give a random for the banded deformers a random angle too. So but don't think that it looks nice, but this is not random now, of course, but you could make it with the same formula. But I think so it's nice. This is nice. Yes, I like it. I did not think that we get such a nice result. And in this time I thought it is much more work. But it isn't. Okay, so I hope you liked this one, and the good message is, the good news are, I have nothing, almost nothing to do this week, so I can make tutorials. I only will go for playing cards on Thursday maybe, but I have more time now. I don't know how long, but yes. So if you have requests, if you have questions, if you have complaints, please let me know. Tell me in the comments, or on my Facebook site, or on my Facebook group, or on my website, or wherever you want. And if you want to support me, you can do so. And on Patreon, if you want to be a patron, you are most welcome, and I really appreciate it. And then you can, patrons from €5 and above can download all the project files, and as soon as I have more time, there will come some tutorials about, so some just Patreon tutorials. And yeah, because I was asked, I made recently a new VST plug-in thing here, so let's see if I find it. Come on. So, should go a little faster normally. Yeah, so I did something like this, and I was asked how I make something like this. So what is my workflow to do this? And yeah, and this will be maybe a Patreon tutorial, because there I have to show how you prepare it and how you make your textures and everything. And this is not just cinema, this is Photoshop as well, and we will do from scratch everything. But I have to think about which one I do. So we will do a fantasy one. So okay, and then go to him, Txaber or Txaber or however, and have a look at his great work, and yeah, show me your things, your results, because this A looks crazy too. Or I like the Q where everything is straight, but not the Q here. This is great idea. So yeah, show me your results. I would really like to see it. And as I said, next tutorial will come soon. Patrons can download the project file. Then the scene rigs are on my site to buy, and there will come an update. I cannot exactly tell when, but I really work on it, and I do my best to bring it to download as far. And you get it per email if you have bought the rigs. You get it automatically by email as soon as an update is out. So, yes. Okay, that's it. Yeah, show me please your results. I would really like to see it. And maybe with another letter. Because I think that some letters are more difficult, some are less difficult. But do it and don't give up. And so that's it. Have a wonderful day and all the best here from Vienna. And then, now, tschüss und baba.